You can hear this. You are not alone. This is the Resistance.
What's up, everyone? This is the Tin Man with the Resistance. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance. And over the past several months, I have been contacted by several activists asking me for my services in video editing and production. And I've been taking on all of these projects free of charge. But to be perfectly honest, I've become a bit overwhelmed. And it's consuming most of my time. That, along with everything else I'm doing with my video vlogs, networking with other activists, and so on, it's taking up most of my time. Not that I mind using my time productively, especially when it's helping others out, but this has evolved from lending the occasional helping hand to having what is commonly referred to as a regular returning customer clientele. Again, not that I mind that, but if I'm going to have what has essentially become a consistent client base with a clientele returning time and time again with projects, then I'm going to have to start charging for my services. I'm not trying to sound like a money-hungry prick or anything here, but like I've said, it's taking up a lot of my time, and if people are going to be asking me for my services, then by all rights, I should be compensated for my services. So that being said, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to lay it all out for everyone. First off, for those I'm currently doing projects for and have come to an agreement with, this doesn't apply to you. We've already talked and we're good. For everyone else, I will be charging a fee. And don't worry, you won't break your banks for my services. I'm strictly independent, so my prices will be more than reasonable and you'll get great quality work for a far better price than you would from most anyone else. Prices will be pretty cheap, but will vary depending on the type of project you want, size, how much content detail you want, and so on. With the exception of anonymous videos. Because anonymous is our nonprofit activists and all that, I cannot and will not charge if in the event that someone might ask me to create an anonymous video for them. Nor will I charge for someone coming to me asking me to cover a topic in my video vlog. Won't charge for that. But let me point something out. That just because I won't charge for anonymous videos, don't think that you can get off free and get a free video project from me by having me use anonymous content in your video. Sorry, but an anonymous video and using anonymous content for a personal project are two very different things. So if you were thinking of using that as a loophole, sorry, but no. Not trying to be a dick or anything, just I had to point that loophole out because there will be somebody out there who would try to exploit that loophole if I didn't close it up right then and there. So that's that. And speaking of using others' content, that brings me to my next point. No copywritten materials. I cannot stress that enough. Legally, I can't sell something that belongs to somebody else. If I did, I'd have to pay royalties, and it's just a big pain in the ass, and I don't want to be bothered with it. So, no copyrights, please. Next, nothing promoting any violent, illegal, or terrorist actions against others, and that includes governments, businesses, and other groups. Sorry, but I am not going to jail for anyone for having anything to do with hate speech, bullying, or seemingly terrorist intent or any shit like that. No. Want nothing to do with it. In fact, let's just stay away from any illegal content altogether. And speaking of content, if there is a script or anything specific that you want said in your video, you must either provide me a script or a detailed description of what you want. And the same goes for the visual content. Be very clear in what you want. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what you want, so you need to tell me in great detail what it is that you want. Otherwise, I'm left to improvise, and your project may not turn out the way you wanted, and then you're up shit creek without a paddle, because I don't do refunds, especially in situations where people aren't clear on what they want and then thusly don't get what they want. Not trying to be mean, but if I do the work, I expect to be paid for the work I do, as would anybody. So to avoid this issue altogether, if you want the best quality for your buck and to get what you paid for, then be very clear on what you want. Can't stress that enough. Speaking of payments, all payments must be made in full to my PayPal account before the project is started. Unless, and this is a big unless I've dealt with you before and you're a regular customer, then I'll do half payment now, half payment when it's finished. I'm doing things this way because I've done work for people in the past and got stiffed on the bill, so I did all that work for nothing. So I'm not going to go through that again. So that's the way it's going to be as far as the payment scale goes. Lastly, if you need or want your project done by a specific date, then you must advise me and get your request into me as soon as possible, so as to give me enough time to finish your project to your satisfaction and specifications. Video production, even big projects, takes time, especially when I'm dealing with multiple projects and have a big workload. So just keep that in mind. It's a good idea to get your project in, get your requests in with plenty of time to spare so that I can meet your deadlines. So, but that about sums it up. If you're in need or want of the services I provide video-wise, hit me up. I'll do most any project. Intros, full videos, movies, camera work, etc. Some projects I've done in the past can be found at the link provided in the description of this video, so go ahead and check those out if you want to see some of my past work. So if you're interested, hit me up and we'll discuss the details. Beyond that, I ain't got nothing else. Stay tuned for a few more updates coming down the line here. Till next time, if you're watching this, you are the Resistance.